Hello, welcome back. We've almost done a full year of recaps, which is insane. I started in January. It's already October. How the fuck is that already October? Anyway, today we're going to be doing my September recap. I watched a lot of stuff this month because a lot of new stuff came out this month, primarily on Netflix, and I watched like all of it. So let's discuss. Alrighty then. First up, finish The Good Place. Let's just start it off on a high note and talk about The Good Place, because I reviewed the bit of The Good Place that I had seen last month, which was like seasons 1. I saw like the first 2 seasons and like half of the third, I think. Finished it a couple days ago. What a show. Like, what a show. I so many people told me to watch it, but I don't think anyone warned me for like the true quality of The Good Place. It was so good, no pun intended, very consistently good. Like, I feel like it was just like a consistently strong show. Like, I do like the first season and the 4th season the best, but like, I just think it was so incredibly consistent. I think they were constantly keeping it fresh. It was constantly funny. Like, it's just a genuinely funny show. Like, some of my favorite funny nods throughout the show are like the signs and things in the background, because all like the written jokes that you see for like 2 seconds were always so funny, and so me and my parents were always pausing it. My mom like lost interest near the end. Whatever. Me and my dad thoroughly enjoyed it. The finale is a masterpiece. I will not argue with you. Like, if you haven't seen The Good Place, why do you not want joy in your life? That's my question to anybody who hasn't seen The Good Place. Why do you deprive yourself of joy? The Good Place is joy. The finale is a masterpiece. It is like the best way they possibly could have ended it. I think it's one of the best endings of any TV show ever. I sobbed. I was a mess. I was a disaster. I didn't see it coming. I was crying. It was beautiful. It was everything. And with that being said, The Good Place was in B in my last ranking. I am absolutely moving it up to A. The question is where. This is one of the hardest decisions I will ever have to make in my life. Let's here? That's pretty good, I think. Yeah, I think we're gonna leave it. It went up a whole tier, so. Okay, watched a bunch more random movies. Watched The Exorcist, which I had never actually seen. I know, crazy. It's like one of the most famous horror movies of all time. I feel like I had really high expectations, and I didn't like love it as much as I wanted to, I guess. Like, it's not like a favorite for me by any means, but I think it is like very good, and it is very classic, and like, I don't know, it's solid. It's just like a solid horror movie. So it's a C. I think like here. My C is so convoluted. I feel like I'm always moving things around in C. Also watched The Omen, which I honestly liked a bit better than The Exorcist. Another like classic horror film. We love an American Horror Story apocalypse moment. I have yet to see the sequels. I don't know if I want to or am going to, but it definitely started off really strong and I think kept pretty consistent throughout. Also pretty solid. Also a C, but above The Exorcist, but I think just above The Exorcist, below Shutter Island. Also watched Slumdog Millionaire. That was per recommendation to my parents. Didn't love this. Didn't love it. Like, this is also like a classic film. The way that it was filmed was very jarring. It was very long. It took me a bit to kind of understand what was going on. Like, respect for it, but like wouldn't watch it again kind of thing. So yeah, it's in D. I would say like here. Oh my god, Get Organized on Netflix. This is like my favorite thing in the whole world. I'm an incredibly organized person. If you've seen like many of my room tours in the past, you probably know that. I'm an incredibly organized person. This show was to die for. It was basically just like a reality show of this company called The Home Edit, and they just like went to people's houses and organized all their stuff, like their pantries and their kitchens and their closets, and it was just the most incredibly satisfying thing I've ever seen in my life, and I want to work for them, so The Home Edit, hit me up. I'm gonna put it like at the end of B over here. Okay, so I did a lot of rewatches. As y'all know, if you've seen any of these in the past, I don't rank the rewatches on this tier list. This is all just the stuff that I saw for the first time this year, so my 2020 coherent ranking. I feel like things that I've seen before I have a bias towards. So, rewatch The Haunting of Hill House with some of my pals in preparation for Haunting of Bly Manor, which is coming soon. I made a video on the sort of trailer teaser material that we got of that.
I didn't even say anything about Haunting Hill House. It's one of my favorite miniseries ever. It's horror brilliance. Episodes 5 and 6 are masterpieces. Stand Mike Flanagan for Clear Skin. If you are a horror fan and you haven't seen Haunting Hill House, you're missing out.
And also watch Sharp Objects again. The It fandom is sleeping on Sharp Objects. It angers me to my core that the vast majority of the It fandom has not seen Sharp Objects. What are you doing? Sophia Lillis is in it. She's playing young Amy Adams. It's a murder mystery. It's written by Gillian Flynn. Has the greatest ending of any, horror suspense mystery thing of all time. It's the best. What are you doing? What are you doing? So if you have not seen Sharp Objects, it's an HBO original. It's 8 episodes. It's an immaculate miniseries. It's probably my favorite miniseries ever. It gets better every time you watch. It's so good. Nothing will prepare you for the end of Sharp Objects. Your jaw will be on the floor for weeks. I guarantee it. Stop sleeping on Sharp Objects. Long hair, Sophia Lil. What are y'all doing? I've also been watching Shameless with Chloe. I think I forgot to mention that. After we watched Glee and Umbrella Academy, we started watching Shameless. We're on season 5 right now. It's been a couple weeks since we watched any of it, because our schedules are all over the place. But Shameless is my favorite long-running show of all time ever. So I basically rewatch it at twice a year. It's a problem. Galavich for life. They're filming season 11 right now, which as far as we're concerned is the last season. I'm so excited. Oh my god. We are who we are. Hello, September. I think it's really weird to me that, We Are Who We Are started in September. I feel like it's been on for, longer than a month, but it hasn't. It's been less than a month, because it's not even the 14th yet. We Are Who We Are is immaculate. We know this if you've been to my channel before. I have a whole playlist on all the We Are Who We Are videos that I've made. I'm doing weekly videos on each episode. Listen, I have it on my tier list, but I feel like it's unfair to rank this, because we've literally only seen 3 episodes. However, it is an A, absolutely. I'd say it's, considering it's not done, I'm gonna put it, here, but it's, my favorite thing ever. What can we say? Ooh, okay. I'm pretty sure this came out at, the end of August, but I didn't watch it until September. I'm thinking of ending things. This was, in the talks. This was a Netflix original movie. It was based off of a book. Had never heard of it before. Just, a lot of people were, recommending it, so I watched it. My mom backed out, halfway through because she lost it. She doesn't like anything. What can we say? But I finished it on my own time. It was an experience. I'd say that this kind of made me feel like 5555 or Midsommar. So if you're looking for that kind of feeling, go check out I'm Thinking of Ending Things on Netflix. It was definitely not that extreme, but it was just an incredibly weird experience. I do think it's an incredibly pretentious and artsy movie. And I really liked the first half a lot more than the second half, because I had to do a lot of research on what the ending meant to actually understand it. And I feel like you, as an audience, you shouldn't have to immediately go look things up to understand what happened, because it was not clear at all. And I was reading more about the book, of what happened in the book, and I actually liked the way that the book ended a lot more than what they chose to do with the movie. So I might end up reading the book. So really weird thing about me, my dream short film or even full-length film is something that takes place entirely in a car. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but I just love car scenes in movies, and I feel like car scenes are so pivotal and monumental, because it's a car scene dialogue between 2 characters. I just feel like there is so much it takes a lot of talent to be able to write a good elongated car scene, especially because cars are really significant, because it's really isolated in a sense. And so it's my dream for a long time has been to see a movie that takes place entirely in a car. There's just a conversation, and I know that's incredibly unrealistic because that's boring for a lot of people, but I'm Thinking of Ending Things basically did that. I'd say a good 45 minutes to an hour of this movie was just the 2 main characters talking in a car, and I was on cloud 9 because my dreams were alive. But yeah, Toni Collette slayed. I think the whole part in the parents' house was definitely the best part of the movie. That was the peak. I thought it was great. I thought all of them did a great job. I was incredibly on edge, incredibly confused. So if you want to be on edge and confused, would recommend I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I'd say that this is a C, but I'd definitely say it's a high C. I would put it here. I do think I want to read the book just to understand it more, because I feel the overall message wasn't really conveyed in the movie, and definitely like the latter half, but I just think the first half of this movie was so strong. That's where I'm putting it. The Devil All the Time. Okay, a lot of people have asked me to talk about Devil All the Time. I talked about it a bit on a live stream on Instagram. Devil All the Time. Okay, first up, it's good. I liked it. Solid, easy. I feel like we've had a lot of good, solid things that I watched this month. Devil All the Time, however, is Oscar bait in its core. Devil All the Time, I'm gonna quote Swell Entertainment here, you should go check out her channel if you haven't, she made a great video on this movie. She said that Devil All the Time feels like a movie characters in a movie would be watching, and I cannot get that out of my head because it is so incredibly true. I think this movie is incredibly simple, but like effective. I think in any other year this wouldn't even be in the conversation, but I think considering the state of 2020, this is going to be sweeping the Oscars. My main gripe with this movie, I hate narration. I hate narration. I hate narration. Narration is so difficult to nail. It's like, to do good narration is very hard. I'd say a great example of like well done narration would be A Series of Unfortunate Events. I think they do it brilliantly because the narration serves a purpose and is a part of the story. I would also say I'm Not Okay With This has good narration because it's like you're watching Sid's diary and she's like conveying to you her sort of inner quips and comments, and I think that works. Did not work in Devil All the Time. Now, I understand that it's based off a book. I understand that the narrator was the author of the book. Good for him. Love that. However, this movie was so obviously based off of a book, and so much of the narration was ridiculously unnecessary. It made me want to punch a wall. Like, if you have a scene of a character taking bullets out of a gun, you don't need to tell the audience he took the bullets out of the gun and loaded it with blanks. If you're going to show a scene of a character getting murdered, you don't need to tell us 3 scenes before that character's body was found in the woods 3 weeks later. Like, it angered me to know it was just constant narration, constantly telling you everything that was happening, and I hated it. I feel like if you had taken out like 75% of the narration, I would have liked this movie more. But aside from that, to round it out, Tom Holland killed it. Bill Skarsgård killed it. Robert Pattinson acted circles around everyone, killed it times 10. All 3 of them are getting Oscar nominations. I feel like in a normal year, only Robert Pattinson would, but I love all 3 of them. I think they're all incredibly talented. I think they did a great job. Also love Eliza Scanlon, that's my queen. Very talented people in this cast. Like, it was good, it was interesting, I was engaged, I was whatever. I just don't think that there was like a message. I don't think it was deep. Like, I just don't think it was anything, like, super special. I just think it was good and solid, and I think that's okay. I think you can have a movie that's just, like, good and solid and isn't anything revolutionary. So yeah, Devil All the Time. Let's see. C as well. C is getting really hefty. We have a lot of stuff in C. I just think so many things are just mediocre, and that's okay. We can enjoy mediocre content. Like here, yeah, like better than Bombshell, not nearly as good as Marriage Story. Okay, Rainy Day in New York. I watched this randomly with my parents. Me and my mom, y'all know we're big Timothée Chalamet stans in this house. We found out that this movie had like a weird, it was technically like released in 2019, and then they just like kind of like re-released it and like sent out the trailers and everything again. We were like, alright, might as well watch it. It's every other Woody Allen movie ever. Like, if you've ever seen a Woody Allen movie, like I feel like Woody Allen movies are like, you could just kind of pick and choose like what cast is your favorite and just watch one, because they're all sort of the same. Like, there was no real story here. It was just nice. It was nice, upbeat. Had a good cast though. Timothée Chalamet, Elle Fanning, Selena Gomez, etc. I don't know. It was just nice. It was funny. It was quippy. It was a good time. It was. I wouldn't watch it again, but like it was fine. Normalize enjoying mediocre content. It's okay. I would say it's like a D, honestly. Like that's like here, like the top of D. Maybe like here. Yeah, like, I feel like I cringed less with this than I did with Chemical Heart, so I'm gonna put it above that. Y'all, I finished a book. I actually finished a book. I haven't reviewed a book since, I don't even know, the last monthly recap where I reviewed a book. I finished Big Little Lies. Y'all know Big Little Lies is one of my favorite shows that I watched this year. It's currently in the number 4 spot. This book was excellent. I loved this book. This book was great. I think they did a fantastic job with the adaptation. I think they were so very similar. I liked just, just like getting into the story again in a different medium. I just love the characters so much. I think the story is so brilliant, excellent. The ending was lovely, and it made me dislike the second season. I will say, like, when I reviewed Big Little Lies originally, I said I didn't like the second season nearly as much as the first season because I thought it was unnecessary. That being said, I knew that the first season was based off a book, and they just sort of like added the second season, and it feels even more added after reading the book because the book had such a lovely ending, and it just makes me feel like, and so like my whole consensus now with Big Little Lies, like, you don't need to watch the second season. Like, I feel like if you watch the first one and you love it so much that like you feel like you want to watch more, go for it, but it really doesn't add anything. And if anything, I would say watch the show and then read the book, because like the book has such a satisfying ending, and it's like while the second season was like interesting and whatever, like I feel like it kind of like backtracked on a lot of the conclusions we made in the book. And I also feel like the whole thing with Bonnie in season 2 now makes me even more angry because they actually had like a better explanation for that in the book. I don't know, but yeah, this took me a bit to read, but I really, really liked it. I really enjoyed it. So, Big Little Lies by Leanne Moriarty. Also, it takes place in Australia, which I thought was really interesting, and it sort of changed the dynamic of everything because the show takes place in California, and they're all American. Yeah, great time. Good book. I also did rewatch the show after reading the book, and it took me like a day. What can I say? And now we're actually, me and my pals who we watch Hill House and Sharp Object, we're actually watching Big Little Lies right now. Because it's the same director as Sharp Objects, just talent, Jean-Marc Vallée. So it's such a good show. Like, I literally just watched it like 2 weeks ago, and we're watching it again. It slaps. It's just the cast, wow. Ratchet, oh my god. I've been so excited for this. If y'all are new here, I'm a massive Ryan Murphy fan. I've seen like everything he's ever done. He's made some very, very good things. He's made some very, very bad things, and that's okay. So when Ratchet was announced, I was like, alright, this is either going to be a Ryan Murphy hit or a Ryan Murphy miss, and it was a hit. It was so good. Oh my god, it was so good. Like, Ratchet is the kind of thing where it's like I would recommend to somebody who's not a Ryan Murphy fan. I feel like a lot of his stuff is like, you'll only really like this if you like and are used to his stuff, but Ratchet I feel like was like really different and quirky and new, and I would recommend it to a lot of people who hadn't really consumed any of his other stuff. So Ratchet is a miniseries. It's based off of Nurse Ratchet from The One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I don't remember if I watched that this month or last month. I didn't talk about it if I watched it last month, but I did watch The One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest because in preparation for this, because I'd only seen like half of the movie, never finished it. You do not need to watch the movie to watch this show. I don't know why they even like bothered making it like an origin story, because like they literally could have just changed her name and it would have been completely different. Like, I feel like they had nothing in common whatsoever. But that's fine. Sarah Paulson is like,
if I say I hate white people, never ever am I talking about this lovely lady right here. This is my queen, ho. I love her. We like this.
I would die at Sarah Paulson's feet if she asked me to. She's one of my favorite people in the entire world. She's one of my favorite actresses. I will watch anything that she's in. But she killed it. And like, everything about the show was great. It was so fun. It was like, the costumes were incredible, the sets were incredible, it looked beautiful. It was just, oh my god, it was so, I don't even know what to say. However, I will say that the ending made me upset, because it makes me think that there's going to be a second season, and I don't think there needed to be. However, I said the same thing with The Politician, and then he made the second season, and I watched the second season, and it was good. But like, I still think that like, Ryan, like, you don't need to do a sequel to everything. Like, it's okay. Like, your specialty is in one-shot miniseries. Like, you don't need to. But yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, you can tell this was definitely a passion project for Ryan and Sarah. Like, you can tell they were both, like, really, like, they were, like, fans of this concept, and they, you know, they have the money and talent to put it together, so that's life goals. Yeah, super solid, would recommend. I wouldn't say it's scary like a lot of his other stuff, but it definitely has a lot of, like, gory medical procedures and such. And I actually would have liked to see a bit more about the lobotomy, because in the trailer it sort of made it seem like it was sort of about the history of the lobotomy, and I feel like they kind of dropped that like halfway through. But it's okay. It was so good. Like, I just thought it was so solid. It's a win for the lesbians. What can we say? Isn't everything with Sarah Paulson a win for the lesbians at the end of the day? Probably. Ryan Murphy. I just think it's such a flex that Ryan Murphy was like, yeah, you know Nurse Ratchet from The One That Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Yeah, she's a lesbian. What about it? But he did that, and a power move, honestly. So, Ratchet, like top of B. Yeah, I need to remove 1917. 1917 has been an A for a while, and I don't feel like it's an A anymore. I feel like it's like here. Is that bad? I don't know, man. Oh my god, I watched Ready or Not. This movie came out like a year ago. Why did nobody tell me this movie slapped? Okay, so Ready or Not was on HBO. I wanted to see it for a while, so I just like sat down and watched it. If you want a good slasher, what the fuck? It was so good. I don't even want to like tell you what it's about, but basically it's deadly hide and seek, and it's fucking awesome. It's so fun, so good, so creative. I loved every second of it. That would have been in my top 10 of 2019 had I actually watched that in 2019 like a proper horror fan. But wow, everyone slept on that movie last year, including myself. Why the fuck don't we talk about this movie more? Fantastic. It's an A. I'm putting it at the bottom of A, but it's an A nonetheless. Excellent. Enola Holmes, speaking of narration, here we go again. So, I don't want to talk about Enola Holmes too much because I do want to do like a full commentary video on Enola Holmes, even though I've already seen it, because I do feel like I have a lot to say about it. I did do a video on the trailer when that first came out, Millie Bobby Brown's new Netflix movie. Everyone's talking about it, everyone loves it. I do think it was a lot better than I thought it would be. I had low expectations, like in between like the trailer dropping and the movie releasing. I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this, and I definitely did like it. I think it was really fun. Narration. It's time to stop. Oh my god. Talk about annoying, incessant narration. Enola Holmes. So much of it was so ridiculously unnecessary. I was like, stop looking at me. Stop talking to me. This isn't Dora, Enola. Like, stop. I don't need you to be like, I'm packing my bag. I can see you doing it. And like, it's just, I hate it. And like, I get that Enola Holmes is like for children, so I'm not the one to judge. But like, there's a way to do good narration for children's programming, and it's called Series of Unfortunate Events. So yeah, I'm in love with the Twinklesberry guy. I don't know, he's beautiful. I'm gonna probably, yeah, I'll do a full commentary video on Enola Holmes soon enough. So, but I'm gonna put it like I'm gonna put it like here in the meantime. Okay, I watched Shirley on my birthday with my parents. That was like my choice of like movie night on my birthday. I'm kind of upset because I didn't like this as much as I thought I was going to. I like watched the trailer and thought it was gonna be like more of a horror movie, and I guess I'm stupid for thinking that. But like, I don't know, I just feel like there was no purpose to this movie. It's about Shirley Jackson, who is the author of We Always Lived in the Castle, Haunting of Hill House, etc. Famous stuff. Played by Elizabeth Moss. Killed it, getting an Oscar. So like, she was really good, but I feel like overall there was like no purpose to the movie. I feel like this movie, however, is going to go in the book of famous dinner table scenes. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. There are just some dinner table scenes that just hit different, and I feel like this movie had like 2 contenders for like famous dinner table scenes that were like really, really good. But yeah, I just feel like there was no purpose. I feel like it didn't really, there was no, nothing happened by the end. I feel like there was sort of no goal and nothing was achieved. And so, like, I enjoyed it, I liked it, I just wanted more from it. And I think, like, while the dialogue was really good and it was, like, really well written, performances were really good, I just wanted more from it. I don't know. So, wow, look, we have double Elizabeth here. I'd say I would put it above Enola, but below Horse Girl. Horse Girl slaps, man. I need to watch that again. Okay, almost done. We've got Gone Girl. I watched Gone Girl because I had never seen the full movie, and, you know, after my Sharp Objects rewatch, I was just, like, on the Gillian Flynn high, and I have to say, I was incredibly disappointed with it, but that's because my expectations were so high, because, like I said, the end of Sharp Objects has, like, the biggest, best twist to ever grace mankind, and I was expecting a really big twist, and, like, there wasn't a twist. Like, you kind of, like, you knew what was going on, like, a half hour into the movie, and, like, it was still, like, fucked up as, like, a concept, right? But I just feel like I didn't get the satisfaction that I did from Sharp Objects, and I didn't care about the characters, and it was very long. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I was, like, not paying that much attention in some parts. I did watch it over, like, 2 days, so maybe I have to, like, watch it again. Okay, I don't know. Because a lot of people said back in the day that, like, Sharp Objects should have been the movie and Gone Girl should have been the miniseries. I still disagree with that. Like, I just feel like, I don't know. Maybe I need to read the book. But yeah, I'm gonna put it in D. Oh, I'm sorry. 2 more! Okay, Tenet. I went to the movie theater. I know, I haven't been to the movies since March 7th. So the movie theater opened near my, the movie theater opened here. Me and my dad were like, we should go for a trial run, see a movie. We went to go see Tenet. There were like 4 other people in the theater. It was glorious. I cried. I brought Tiny Penny. It was a great time. I just loved being in a movie theater again. So we went to go see Tenet, the new Christopher Nolan movie. Solid film, like solid action flick. I feel like I didn't really care about the story or the characters, and they didn't really explain anything to me of like what was going on. But like the action sequences were just like so good, and it was like a very creative concept. Like I said, I feel like they didn't explain the concept or like why and how it works. But it was nice to look at, which I feel like is like the whole point of action films. Robert Pattinson was in it. Yo, I love Robert Pattinson is killing it this year. Like, full respect to that man. Another simple, solid watch. No, I'd say it's like, oh, this is hard. Like here? I feel like I need to move Gone Girl to the top of D. Bro, I don't know. Last one, watched this yesterday, Boys in the Band. Ryan Murphy really came out with 2 Netflix originals this month. Like, nobody works as hard as Ryan Murphy, and that's just a fact. Boys in the Band was a Netflix original movie based off of a play revival that was based off of an original Broadway play, the revival of which had this exact same cast. Ryan Murphy was a producer on it or something, and he was like, we should do a movie version to like immortalize it. Genius, brilliant. I'm really glad that like now everybody is able to watch the play, because as you know, theater is not very attainable for the traditional audience. So incredible cast. It's all of Ryan Murphy's token gays. We love that for him. They were all amazing. It was just like, it was very much like you could tell it was a play. It was like very dialogue heavy, lots of long conversations, one succinct set. I just liked it. It was just basically about all these gay friends. They were having a birthday party for one of their friends, and drama ensues. So I don't know, if you like theater, if you like Ryan Murphy, I would recommend it. And yeah, it's a B, I would say. Ooh, we got a second row going for B. Like here. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. Let me know down below what you watched this month. I've noticed a big chunk of you have been doing that every month, telling me what you watch, like keeping note of what you've been watching, and I enjoy that a lot. Yeah, any recommendations for me? Like usual, I finally watched The Good Place, guys. That was one that people were giving me for a long time, so there we go, I did it. Yeah, anyway, comment, like, and subscribe. Press the notification bell. I upload pretty much every other day. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at edward.spaghedward. Follow the pennies at the pennygram. Links in the description for ways you can help with Black Lives Matter and register to vote. The election is coming up. There are also links to my website, my merch, and all that stuff in the description. This has been a really great dinner. Thanks for coming over.